So let's get started with our very first session in product agility, which is bringing value to value stream mapping. The session will be conducted by Meenakshi Koul. A little bit about Meenakshi. She is an enterprise agile coach having an extensive agile implementation and transformation experience with large-scale global organization. 18 plus years of track record she's having with helping teams to thrive and organization to develop and transform. A deep understanding of how to create adaptable organizations that foster a collaborative culture in which the successful delivery of valuable products and services is continually optimized. She has helped the organizations embrace the principle of agile, lead and scale agile and become fluent in them so that they are better equipped to solve complex problems. Okay, with that, let me hand it over to Meenakshi for the session. Thank you.
Just bear with me. Okay, now it's working, fine. So second day, thank you all for joining. To be very honest, when I came into this particular track, I didn't see many people and was like, I don't know how many people are going to join, but thank you all for joining. So to start with, I want to talk about the value stream mapping and how we bring the value, how we can bring value to the value stream mapping, okay? So value stream mapping exercise is very close to my heart. Have been doing value stream mapping exercise for last many years now. And what I love about it is at the end of value stream mapping, the big picture which comes out of value stream mapping, the teams themselves are surprised that we are doing this much. Oh, this is also the part of the process. Okay, we are doing this also. Because we are so much into our work that we do not many times look at the holistic picture. What is our value stream? Where are we? And what all we are impacting? So the topic of today's discussion, this is a real case study which I did with a group of teams which we call as family in our organization Pfizer. So this was done with that team. Okay, so to get started, so one thing I want to say in the beginning, I'm just a learner, so I tried it, I experimented this. And that is where this slide is here, that the collective knowledge of this group obviously will be more than my knowledge. Please feel free to share if you have any more insights to this, okay? So now getting started, so what do you think, what disappoints our customers? Anything? I mean, I have put some of them, but I think, right, delivery time is slow, hot fixes, production bugs and all, right? So we all have come across all these kinds of pitfalls whenever we have been with any team, any delivery team, right? So what all you have been doing about it? What have you all done about it? Have thought about it, yes?
We prioritize the production works and also trying to find out what will be the next value addition to those.
Okay, so Mike here, please, if somebody can provide. So what he's saying is basically production bugs and how can we improve next time and prioritize the production bugs. Anything else what we have done?
Go back to the drawing board and check your, let's say, capacity planning.
I mean, the resource planning, that was it the, let's say, retrospective, right?
Okay.
Do a retrospective about it, that why we were not able to deliver,
okay.
Find the root causes,
okay.
Make the user stories for them, and then keep working on the next sprint to improve upon it, like continuous improvement.
Sure, okay.
Yeah, also the bug triaging process.
Defect triaging process.
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
continuing.
Okay, yeah. How you can minimize delays. Okay, yeah, so these are the okay. So how many of you have tried value stream mapping? Okay. Have you all found it useful? Yes? Okay. So let's talk more about it. So for the people who have not done value stream mapping, so I just want to give you a brief idea of what basically a value stream mapping is. So basically it's mapping of your value stream, right from gathering the requirements to deploying it into the production. So you will see here in the diagram, so like we have define phase, build, validate and release phase. So at each of these stages, you basically put the steps, what your team is doing, all value add steps, non-value add steps, how much time each of the steps is going to take, and what are the different handoffs, challenges and bottlenecks. Okay, so this is what we do as part of the value stream mapping. And now how it has been done traditionally is that we get all the people in one room, we put the charts and all, we give them the sticky notes, and we just tell them to start dumping your thoughts here. What do you think is your value stream and what are the different stages of the value stream, right? This is what all we have been doing, okay? So now what are the outcomes and benefits? We identify the waste and bottlenecks, right? We make the processes efficient and transparent, right? So transparent in the sense, we chalk it out and it makes everybody see that process, right? Align cross-functional teams for greater buy-in. So we don't only call our teams, but we also call the dependent teams in value stream mapping. Okay, that is where the different cross functions are involved. We see how we are impacting them and how they are impacting us, how they are impacting challenges and how we are creating challenges for them. Okay, and it provides a center for conversation of learning and future growth. Obviously now imagine all people coming together, so there will be a lot of conversations, right? And that is one more beauty of the value stream mapping. Like we all start conversing together and it becomes a map for the future growth. Okay, so we identify our current state and the output is that we try to create a future state where we want to reduce the non-value added activities, we want to reduce the cycle time, we want to reduce the lead time, we also want to look at the different challenges and try to reduce them. I will not say we can eliminate everything, but at least it makes the things visible, right? So if it is such a good exercise to do, why organizations are not invested in it? What is the reason? What do you think? Why we are not spending time on it? I mean, in this room also, I found only a few people. Yeah.
Maybe we don't have the right resources to invest time and identify waste in for doing value stream mapping. Also, we might not have trust in leadership whether they'll take it seriously.
Sure. Yeah. Yes. Leadership. Yeah. Buy-in is important. So, in my experience, I'll tell you what I have felt is now just imagine all team members coming together in a room for 4-5 days. So, what costs? Time, bandwidth. So if you go to any leader and tell them I want to do value stream mapping, most of the times I have heard no. I don't want to invest so much time. I don't have so much value stream mapping. They are not getting the right of or dwelled one enough so that we can get outcome out of it, real benefits out of it. Okay, so these are the issues which we all talked about, bogged down by the time consumed, bandwidth issues, input versus outcome. Okay, so now my story. Okay, so I was talking to one of the senior leaders in my organization for which I have been assigned as an agile coach. So we were talking about many issues and he said the main issue is role clarity. We don't know what product owners are doing, we don't know what scrum masters are doing and all. So there is a real issue in understanding of the role by the people who are doing that role and even by the team. We talked further and I dwelled and I asked him the question, do you think this is the real cause for the delay of the features, for cycle time, lead time and all whatever we are talking about? So he just thought about it and I suggested him, let's do value stream mapping. So what answer I got? No, I don't have so much time and bandwidth. I got back to my team of coaches and we discussed it. And what we thought, let's stream mapping, and believe me, this is where it came out. Agile value stream mapping, which we did in 8 hours, and we did not involve the whole team. We just involved 5 to 10 people who were the SMEs and within the defined guardrails. We did not consider the whole value stream. So then I went back to that leader and told him, I will just do it in 8 to 10 hours. Okay, give me at least that much bandwidth from the team. And he agreed somehow very pro-agile person, and he understands what value stream mapping and all is. So that is where we got the buy-in from the leadership. So now obvious thoughts, okay, I got the buy-in, now the obvious thoughts to me, how am I going to do it in 8 hours, okay? Again, going back to my team of coaches, and so with the obvious thoughts in the beginning were, like, let's have an agenda in place which is well curated, okay? What I will do in first 5 minutes, what I will do in next 30 minutes and all, so facilitate it that way. So you actually need a very good facilitation skills with that, and I think I am blessed with a good team of coaches in my organization who really help me here, okay? So that is where it is well curated agenda. I went back to the leader and told him that we will do it in a week's time, but we will not consider your whole week. We will span it over, across the week with each day 1 or 2 hours from the team. And that was the agreement in the beginning, okay? And so to expedite it, we had to do a lot of preparation, and as coaches, for the next session, for the next session, for the next session. So I'll be talking about how we did it. And then we also thought that we will be doing a value stream mapping overview to the team before actually getting into the value stream mapping exercise. So as I said, we had to do a lot of homework. So this is precursor to the agile value stream mapping. So what we did, we defined our guardrails. We did not take everything from ideation or requirements gathering to production. We kept production out of scope. Requirement gathering, only product owner was involved, not whole of the product organization was involved. So we clearly defined our in scope and out of scope, okay? Value stream mapping team, I did not have the luxury to get everybody, so we just asked them to give us few people, to at least give us SMEs from each of the groups. From development we got one, testing, deployment, product owner and all. Next thing, facilitator and coach composition. So this was to be done in a fast forward manner. So obviously I required some help. So we had 2 more coaches along with me and a scriber who will basically be writing the different steps during the value stream mapping exercise, okay? So, and we did an initial discovery with the team, first to understand the value stream. So we did it with the SMEs, and we were trying to understand what their value stream is at a high level. So this was done in the beginning. Then use of collaborative tools, it was a distributed team. So we had people from North America and from India. So we used Miro. So we do have a license for that, and I think many of you must be using it. So we used Miro as the tool and MS Teams for the collaboration. Now, many of you have used Miro, so right? So basically what is it? It's a whiteboard, right? So to get into any team, so you need to create frames and before we actually started. So we pre-populated many things on Miro before we get into the team. So what we did, we created a parking lot, working agreement we create with the team, we created it on our own. In scope, out of scope was discussed already, we put it there. Then opportunities, gaps, next steps, everything was done before getting into the team. And we crafted an initial backbone to expedite the thought process, okay? So just see this, these are the different Miro board frames which you see here, right? So working agreement we created, and then we created the scope and the different sticky notes, right? We know like stages was orange, different activities which we are doing, it will be yellow, role purple, challenges, tools, these are the different colors for the sticky note. Just like any physical board exercise which we do, these were the different legends which we kept ready in the beginning only to do the exercise, okay? So then started the real game. We started with, as I said, we did half an hour preparation to start with our value stream mapping. We went to the team. On the first day, we only helped them understand what is value stream mapping and Miro board overview. So it was just 40 minutes in the first day. The next day, we went to the team, and what was our agenda for the next day was working agreement, scope and boundaries, document the current activities, add the activities individually, or you will tell and we will scribe. Coaches will scribe on the Miro board, add the roles, add the challenges, pain points experienced in the value stream mapping stages. Okay, so just look here, this is the activity which. Okay, and now, no, it's taking forward, sorry. So this working agreement and scope and boundaries, we discussed with them, you want to change anything, you want to add anything? If they said yes, we would add it or discuss it, and then just directly went into the brain dump activity. That is level 1 mapping which we did. So if you see the orange sticky notes, I'm sorry, this is not visible. This is not visible purposefully because it's a Pfizer related data and Pfizer deals with many banks and all, and we cannot disclose the information. I'm sorry for that. So brain dump activity, if you see, you will see the orange, there are many different stages. These stages are basically requirements gathering stage, your development stages, your coding, your build and all. Your deployment, till deployment you can see the different stages here. So now what they all did, they started telling like these are the different things which we are doing at each of the stages. And we had 2-3 coaches and a scriber, we all started putting it there. Okay, together we started putting it there. I was asking the questions. Now is it an easy exercise to do in 1.5 hours? Just think about it. In 1.5 hours, you have to be on it actually to do this exercise. And it took a lot, I would say, and a lot of thought how to do it. So I think what worked, I would say, as a part of this was first creating a safe place. So we told them what we talk here will stay in the room. We are not going to take it out individually as names that this anybody told us. Okay? And then we asked the powerful probing questions. Like if they were talking about anything, like we are doing this REAS activity, these are the challenges, we used to dwell it further. We used to keep on asking them further questions so as to gather as much data possible from them. Okay? And then the questions moved around 4 WOs and 1 H and further dwelling around the challenges. So this was done day 1. Okay, and this took us 1.5 hours. It got extended till 2 hours, but yeah, this whole brain dump what we created basically, this was done in 1.5 hours. So 1.5 hours we created the whole value stream mapping. Okay, so now what was we going to do next day? We were going to create or refine the value stream mapping. So what we would have expected, who should have done it? Who should have refined their value stream mapping? Sorry? Scriber. But who actually does refine their value stream mapping process? I mean, these are the different activities which we are doing. If we want to take out some, we want to refine it further and all, who should be doing it? Team should be doing. So here who did it? We did it. Coaches did it. Okay? So next day we sat, all coaches together, let's refine the process. So whatever understanding we had from the process, we just mapped it. So you will see here, the first row is basically the first column is basically the requirement phase. The second is more related with your development, testing and all. And the third one is release and final one is the deployment. So we removed the unnecessary stickies, the repetitions, we put the tools, challenges and all ourselves. So it took us around 2-3, I would say, hours continuously to refine it further. Okay? Then we took this refined process to them just to expedite it. Had they been doing it, it would have again taken maybe 2-3 hours again to do it. Just to expedite it, we took this refined process to them, and this is how it looked like. Then the day 2, then the day 3, how it looked like was quick recap of what we are doing today. Review the refined value stream mapping together. We all looked at it together, and if you see on this diagram, sorry. And you will see there are some questions on the left hand side, resolved questions, okay. So when we are actually refining, we had our own questions. What are they doing here? So we went to them with those questions as well, and we all reviewed it together. So then what we did, we discussed on the value stream mapping together, we discussed on the challenges, opportunities in collaboration, there was a lot of information sharing, lot of integration and all, and that was the close of the day for the day 3. Okay, so we came with a refined value stream mapping. So now what was left was basically talking about the different challenges, how to improvise your process. So what we did basically here, this were the different challenges and opportunities of improvement for us, okay. This also coaches created. We only looked at the different challenges and all, we took it to them the next day. So that is how this all was framed. So at the prioritization state, what challenges you have, at inception state, what, at development, at release activities and at deployment, what different challenges you have. So that is all what coaches and the scriber did. And then finally, we went to them, discussed these challenges, and we created different action items the day 4. So on day 4, from those challenges, we created the different action items coming out of that. Okay, so you see it here. So then what after that we did, we took these action items, we called our senior leadership, okay. And believe me, these all challenges were discussed with the senior leadership. And I said that the leader was very pro-agile. He sat down through the sessions. We actually discussed it in 2-3 hours, to be very honest. We discussed on each and every action item with the senior leader. People opened up about their challenges. You will see some of them, I cannot disclose all of them. You will see that people opened up. I wanted it to be anonymous, but people were so much, I would say, it was in them that they wanted to talk, and they started talking about it together. Okay? So this is what we basically did. So then this is the action items which came out of it, and this is the backlog which was there. So these action items discussed, we did a voting about these action items, then we created a backlog for our product improvement. So you will see that there is a first priority, there is a second priority and a backlog. So these action items were put on priority on backlog in Jira actually. And we actually were tracking these action items. So first priority, I would say most of them have been done. Second priority and the backlog item, still we are tracking them and we are seeing how we can improve upon them. So this is an overall flow. Because of those snippets I had, I could not talk about the overall flow. So first we did a brain dump exercise done by coaches. We took a lot of effort in actually trying to extract from the team a refined value stream mapping basically, where we actually talked about, we refined the value stream and finally the improvements and the action items. So there was a lot of effort from the coaching end, I would say, to expedite the value stream mapping, and the thing was we wanted to do it. We wanted to make it clear to the senior leadership what they feel are the concerns are not the real concerns on the team. There is much more to it. So output is visibility of the end-to-end process to the team and the leadership, team opening about their challenges to the leadership team, identification of the improvement backlog and the prioritization of the improvement opportunities. So now just see, we had one of the challenges, change in priorities. So the team was saying, as we start working on something, we keep on getting challenges and we are not able to concentrate on that, right? It happens with most of us, right? So and they were saying that product is pushing the priorities, leaders are pushing the priorities, even sales is pushing the priorities, and there is no alignment between this. Like there is no prioritization what we should be actually doing. So now what was an obvious outcome out of this was that let's start doing a PI planning, or what we call as a quarterly planning. So we actually did PI planning after this, and there was agreement on prioritize. And if there were anything which we feel should not be part of the process, we take it out and then we start putting one more thing as part of the plan. There was agreement and the senior leader agreed to it. Yes, we will be doing it. Limited resources, T-shaping, cloud tech related challenges, not disclose. Closing of the epics and features in the tools. User stories, good, we are good. But epics and features, they sometimes used to look orphan, who will be closing them. So there was a discussion on how we will be closing it, and a lot of self-discipline is required for this. Release documentation quality. So we had issues with release documentation, to be very honest. Some people left, some people joined new, not aware about the product knowledge and all. So what can be a quick step for it? We started using ChatGPT, to be very honest here. We involved Gen AI usage here. Product knowledge, there were KT sessions. But incremental documentation with ChatGPT really helped. The quality of the documentation and all improved. Okay, automation. So an inbuilt tool which was used by one team, which was developed by some other team in some other segment, and the leader was aware about it. So he told them, go to that team. Let's discover what that tool is, and we will try to see how we can use that. So these are just some of the outcomes, not everything which came out of that exercise. So that's it. I think it was very quick. I was very quick. Questions? Yeah.
Yeah. Hello. In this process, what about the operational value stream? I mean, development value stream you covered,
Yes.
but what about operational value stream?
So we had not kept it in scope. So as I said, that the idea was to do it very fast. Had I considered operational value stream, it would have taken a lot of effort and time. But we wanted to concentrate only on the development value stream so that we can improve it, and maybe in the next iteration, if we want to include operations and all also, we can think about it. But that was out of scope
Because
for
I mean,
now.
operational value stream which is more agile or more rapid in nature than development value stream. I mean, for development value stream, we can plan for 3 months, 6 months, but in operational value stream, prioritization is a bit tricky.
Yes.
I mean, if there is a production issue which we need to prioritize, defect is coming or new feature is coming due to production issue, then it has to prioritize first.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah, so I understand that, yes. So I would not give that in value stream mapping, but how we are doing it in our organization, I can tell that. Okay. So are you doing quarterly planning? PI planning? Yes. Okay. So when you are doing PI planning, are you considering production defects? You are considering production defects, right? So when you are talking about these production defects coming up on ad hoc basis, are you putting it as a part of your quarterly planning? So you will be reserving some bandwidth for it, definitely. You are. So then what is the question, I mean?
So I work in scheme compliance and mandates, and I mean we get mandates issued very frequently, weekly, monthly. So we cannot fit into development value stream or in PI planning as such. So for example, I am getting a RBI mandate which need to be delivered in 1 month, and PI planning already done. So now it is coming as an operational work which I need to complete within 1 month. So how I can prioritize that work?
Right. So I think we have same kind of situation in our organization, and being a financial organization, we supporting the financial banks and all, we do have regulatory compliances, we do have other compliances to meet basically. So that is where I said that in our quarterly planning, we keep 60% of our bandwidth only for feature development or the development, and rest 40%, if you will actually see, we do have blocks for regulatory compliance, for tech related issues and all, where we anticipate that this is going to come and we do it. you won't believe, I mean, it is anti-agile, but we even do capacity planning for it. Like this, many hours we are using and we are, right. I mean, hours we usually say in agile we should not be doing it, be doing it points. But to get that holistic view of what is the work and what is the capacity I have, we do it. We do it at an extensive level before getting into the next quarterly planning. And that is where, if you will see here, this was one of the things. Product pushing the priorities, leadership pushing the priorities, even sales pushing the priorities. So this is common across. What helped us was doing a quarterly planning, agreeing on the priorities, that we all together as a team, including the compliance, including everybody, we call them in the planning. It is an extensive exercise which we do actually for 2 days. We call all of them together and we agree on the priority. And I won't say it doesn't change. It's a dynamic document. We agree on that. Only thing is we keep some capacity reserved for it and it changes after that. So that's what I think can be one of the things we can think about.
Yeah, one question. Yeah, here, this side, Meenakshi. So you said that you asked the team members to list down the challenges that you are facing when it came to the value stream mapping exercise. One of the challenges that I often face is that they are not always very honest. They would write anything that comes to their mind, actually. It might or might not relate to the real challenges that a team could be possibly facing.
Okay.
So how do they ensure that the inputs coming from the team members were accurate and it would help you actually improve the exercise overall?
So so one thing is, like, we try to keep it anonymous. We wanted them to speak about it. So I think most of us do it. It's not something what we are doing. I think we create a safe environment, we let them talk. Another thing is, like, I feel mostly in value stream mapping, if the whole team is not speaking and doing, that's a different situation. But mostly in value stream mapping, when you keep on probing and asking them questions, they come out, they start talking. And that is where I said, the brain dump exercise, you need very good facilitation skills actually. Yeah. Very good facilitation skills. Keep on asking them why this so, what is the challenge, what is around this challenge, why this happened, what can be done. So do you have any examples around it which you can talk about around this challenge? What was the one particular thing which actually happened? People actually spoke about it. People actually spoke about those challenges and all. Okay. So ask questions, keep asking them. So that is, I think, which really works well. And you should do a lot of homework before getting there. That is where we did. Yeah. We talked to the SMEs, we talked to the leadership team and all before actually getting there.
Thank you, Meenakshi. Good session.
Yeah, thank you.
Hello.
Thank you for the wonderful. Sorry, I have a question. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, hello ma'am. Thanks for this enlightening session. I just wanted to, I will request you to go back to the slide where precursor to AVM is there, where there are 5 sticky notes. Yeah, this one. Yeah.
This one or next one?
Precursor to, yeah, this one. So there, you have mentioned about the 5 sticky notes, stages, activity, role, challenges and tools. Then in the stages, I think you spoke about the different steps and the agenda. So I will just request you to talk about one example for each of those sticky notes, stages, release, activity. It is slightly unclear to me, and I will also request you to just talk about where requirements gathering will also fit here.
Okay, so let me go to the brain dump exercise here.
Sorry, Meenakshi, sorry to interrupt. We just have 3 minutes left. Do you think this will be covered? Otherwise, we can take it in the break.
I'll talk to you. I'll show you how we did it on Miro Boda, but I cannot disclose the information. Okay. So basically, at each of the stages, we put the different activities. If you see the yellow sticky notes, we have the different activities. So like requirements are not clear. So that can be one of the things there, right? Then next stage, so it is just brain dumping. We are just dumping the things there. We are not actually creating the value stream at that level. Then after that, what happens to that? It will come into the feasibility. It will come into the prioritization stage. Then what are the different steps in feasibility? What are the different steps in prioritization? What are the different challenges at that time? So I can explain it to you. I'll show it to you.
Yeah, hi. Thanks, Meenakshi, for the session. In the last slide, you mentioned some of the things about the outcome or something around that.
Yes.
Yeah. So has team identified any quantifiable measure to showcase that what exactly the, after the putting the things from the backlog to the actual implementation, what the success they got?
So one thing is feature completion. So feature completion is one of the things which is a very quantifiable measure for us because we are asked about it, right? How many features were completed because of this particular prioritization? We did that, and lead time and cycle time.
Last question, maybe we can take.
Yeah.
Okay, this is Girish here. So before coming here, I didn't know about this value stream mapping. This is a new term. But I'm a bit confused now. So how is it different than the sprint review or the sprint retrospective that we do? In what context we have to do the value stream mapping? That I want to understand.
Okay, so what do you do in sprint review or sprint retrospective?
So basically we do the review of the artifacts that we have delivered. We do the risk or the challenges that we have faced.
So for that particular
Sprint. Yeah.
right? Have you ever thought about doing an end-to-end process mapping of a particular process right from the requirements till deployment? What are the different activities you are doing as part of each stage? What are the different challenges you are having?
Yeah, I mean all the points that you have mentioned in the outcome. I mean those
Most
points.
of them are covering in the sprint review and retrospective.
Yes,
You're saying.
yes.
So I have not disclosed many of the things here. I cannot. I just disclosed some of them here. So, but it's an extensive exercise where even certain things which are coming out. So retrospective tells you like this is, but what is the root cause of it? From where it is emerging? How are we tracing it back? Where it is going back? So all those things become evident during your value stream mapping.
I know it is quite engaging and everybody has a lot of questions, but unfortunately we have to stop due to the time constraint.
Sure.
Meenakshi, you can, yeah, okay. So we have a mentee slide over here. Please scan the QR code and share the feedback for Meenakshi. And please utilize the break time for any questions you have for Meenakshi.
Yeah, I will be here. If any one of you has any questions or I have confused some of you, so please come to me. I will be happy to answer your questions. Okay. Thank you so much for
Thank you,
joining.
Meenakshi. And please stay back. Meenakshi, I would request Dhiren to please felicitate Meenakshi.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.